What is up, guys? Today we're reading Esther chapter 5. I missed yesterday. Things happen, What can you do? Well, I should have read it yesterday, but what can you do, as in, what can you do? I don't know. Okay. Chapter 5 Esther's request to the king. On the third day of the fast, Esther put on her royal robes and entered the inner court of the palace, just across from the king's hall. The king was sitting on his royal throne, facing the entrance. I like when they paint these really vivid pictures, You can really picture, the palace, the king sitting on his royal throne, just I picture him sitting there just kind of like this. Maybe what are those, big, royal sticks they hold, just kind of just holding on to it just because. It's kind of how I picture him sitting there. When he saw Queen Esther standing there in the inner court, he welcomed her and held out the gold scepter to her. See, I told you, the scepter is a real thing that kings just have. It's the scepter, the gold scepter. So Esther approached and touched the end of the scepter. When the king asked her, "What do you want, Queen Esther? What is your request? I will give it to you, even if it is half the kingdom." So he's like, "My lady, I'll do anything for you." He's a bit of a simp. He'll do anything for his queen. Okay. But he doesn't know what she's about to ask. And Esther replied, "If it please the king, let the king and Haman come today to a banquet I've prepared for the king." Not what I thought she was going to ask. The king turned to his attendants and said, "Tell Haman to come quickly to a banquet, as Esther has requested." So the king and Haman went to Esther's banquet. And while they were drinking wine, the king said to Esther, "Now tell me what you really want. What is your request? I will give it to you, even if it is half the kingdom." Esther replied, "This is my request and deepest wish. If I have found favor with the king, and if it pleases the king to grant my request and do what I ask, please come with Haman tomorrow to the banquet I'll prepare for you. Then I will explain what this is all about." So a second banquet. That's what the rich people do. The rich people just be having banquets and eating babies and stuff. Anyway, Haman was a happy man as he left the banquet. But when he saw Mordecai sitting at the palace gate, not standing up or trembling nervously before him, Haman became furious. However, he restrained himself and went on home. Then Haman gathered together his friends and Zeresh his wife, and boasted to them about his great wealth and his many children. Wow, really humble guy. He bragged about the honors that the king had given him and how he had been promoted over all the other nobles and officials. Then Haman added, "And that's not all. Queen Esther invited only me and the king himself to a banquet she prepared for us. And she has invited me to dine with her and the king again tomorrow." Then he added, "But this is all worth nothing as long as I see Mordecai the Jew just sitting there at the palace gate." Whoa, okay. So Haman doesn't like Mordecai because he's Jewish. And Haman's telling all his friends, he's like, "Yo, dude, my life is dope." He's like, "The king loves me. He promoted me all the way up here. I'm rich. I got so many kids," which I guess is a flex. And he's like, "Man, I got stuff figured out. I mean, the queen literally invited me to a banquet with her and the king and just the three of us. The three of us literally just hanging out. I have this figured out, bro." And I have a feeling that there's going to be a rude awakening happening. Even through all of this great stuff that Haman has, he's like, I can't enjoy it with freaking Mordecai the Jew just sitting there. So Haman's wife, Zeresh, and all his friends suggested, "Set up a sharpened pole that stands 75 feet tall." That's really tall. Think about how tall that is. That's a lot. Wait, how much is that? Wait. Dude, that's 19 King Samuelots stacked on top of each other. Do the math. And in the morning, ask the king to impale Mordecai on it. When this is done, you can go on your merry way to the banquet with the king. This pleased Haman, and he ordered the pole set up. Dang, bro, 75 feet tall to impale him. I feel like it doesn't need to be that tall. I feel like, dude, the way they would kill people in the old days was just brutal. I watched a video of the most brutal deaths in the Roman Empire, and it was just these really grotesque public executions that were just they really got creative with it. It's just terrible. Ugh. I just realized it looks like my gumball machine is floating back there. It's just floating on thin air. Anyway, Super Bowl Sunday today. Stay locked in on the word. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.